Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Gem Hens, and this is published by Social Sloth Games. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see our videos as they come out.
Every time you say Gem Hens, I feel like you're going to say Gem Henson.
I don't.
But there's not meeples in this game.
There are meeples.
Muppets. Meeple Muppets would be... I'd like to see that.
How would you do that, though? Because the Muppets are supposed to...
Yeah.
But meeples don't move.
Why constrain yourself?
Okay, so Gem Hens.
Gem Henson. Gem Hens. Let me set the stage for you.
Okay.
The year, 1885. The country, Russia. Intrigued yet?
Okay. Carry on.
Fabergé eggs, whatever that word is, those kind of eggs are all the rage. Everybody has them. Everybody wants them.
All the rage?
the cat's pajamas, if you will. But
it's like an iPod for the 1885.
Right.
iPod, I dated myself. iPad is what I meant.
Sure. This is like the weirdest intro we've ever had. Trust us, it gets weirder from here. We are but humble farmers, and we can't afford, to make a Fabergé egg. So what we have figured out how to do is we have infused grain for our chickens with gems. So they're going to eat these gem-infused grain, they're going to eat them all up, and then they're going to shoot out a Fabergé egg.
Shoot it?
Just like, pop. I don't know how it works. It's biology. So whoever can make the prettiest egg because of eating the prettiest gems is going to win the game. Let's show you guys what it looks like on the table. All right, here's our setup for Gem Hens. Over here we have the main board that we're all going to be playing on. And then each player is going to get this smaller board here, showing all the different gems that you can pull out, as well as all your dice actions. And then here is where your final egg is going to be being built. Every player gets their own pool of dice. In a 2-player game, you get 8. In a 3-player, you get 7. And in a 4-player game, you'll get 6 dice to work with. I'm set up for a 2-player game here, so we're going to use 8 dice. We also then have our farmer. He is going to start based off the number of players on the leftmost column. So we've got 2 players. We're going to start with 2 dice. I'll explain what that means in a little bit. We'll start them there, and they'll kind of move them over as the game progresses. And these are the dice that the farmer is going to be using. All the players are going to have their chickens outside here in the coop, waiting to go into that middle field area. But first we need to kind of get some gems out there. So again, based off that number, we've got 2 right there. We're going to roll 2 dice. They're going to go in our left column here. So we've got a 4 and a 5. And then we've got 2 dice that are going to go on the bottom here. We've got a 2 and a 2. Interesting. Okay, so now we're going to populate that with our gems wherever they intersect. We've got a bag full of just a million of these different gems and all these different colors that are here. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start by putting 2 out here, because we've got 1 crossing with 2, and then 2 over here as well. And that's what we're going to be fighting for. We can get some more out there, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. All right, we're getting ready to roll our dice. We do have a timer. It's a really fast timer, maybe like 30 seconds or so. So you have to roll all your dice and figure out which actions you want based off this top part of here, all in that short amount of time. When that's done, whatever you've rolled is what you're working with. Across the top, we have move 1 spot, move 2 spots, and move 3 spots. That's just kind of moving your chicken out on the board. We've also got scratching, which is 4s and 5s. Your 6s are going to help determine your pecking order. So your pecking order is basically your turn order. We've got, in a 2-player game, a 1 and a 2 to award based off how much we're going to roll there. All right, so we might flip that over, let that run. We're just going to roll, whatever it ends up being. Whatever we want to do, we can keep those in that certain area. Let's just say this is what we had when that time ran out. So now, in order to determine pecking order, what we're going to do is we're going to re-roll all these 6s. We're going to add them up. So in this case, we've got 10. We're going to compare that to what everyone else's pecking order dice rolled out to be, and whoever has the highest number gets that pecking order. And then also, whatever they rolled is also what they become. So these 3s will go here. These 4s will go in with that scratching. If you had rolled a 6 as part of that pecking order, you'd actually get to put it back in the 6th spot, and it would act as a wild the rest of the round. So we could, use one of these dice. We could move our guy out here. He has to start from one of these little ramps. And puts them out on the board somewhere. These guys are super top heavy, so they fall over a lot. Oops. So he's out there. If we, there's only 4 currently gems out there. There's more than that we want, so we can get more by using the scratch function. Basically, what you do is you are able to put a dice anywhere you want. Let's say we want this to be a 1. That's actually a really good idea right now because guess what? We've got 2 there, 1 there. Wherever this crosses, just like before, we're going to add gems in. So we'd have 2 gems on that spot right there. But in this case, because we're sitting there, they're actually going to go right to us. So we've got these 2 gems. These now belong to us. We're going to put them somewhere on our board. We're trying to build this egg. Each section has to be an entirely matching color, and you want to try to fill it up. So basically these amber ones here, these are the most common. There's 24 of them in the bag, but these diamonds are the most rare. There's only 7 of those in the bag. So maybe if you're feeling risky, you can try to fill up the bigger spots with the more common things, or the smaller ones with the more rare things, or you can kind of do whatever you want based off what's out on the board. These blue ones are somewhat common, so we could maybe put these down here in that 4 spot length. And this orange one here, the citrine I think it's called, is slightly more rare, so maybe we'll put that in one of those 3 spots right there. We could do another scratch. We could do one over here, let's say, and what that would do is add in a gem everywhere this intersects, so it would look something like this. And now we have some more gems to go and get. If we wanted to move 3, we move them down, 1, 2, 3, and we would get all the gems that are in that section. Again, filling them in wherever we wanted to on our board over here. But keep in mind that you have to be able to place the gems. If you cannot place a gem, let's say for some reason this, let's grab a new one out of the bag. Let's say for some reason we could not place one of these. This is going to count as negative points at the end of the game based off this chart. So the greens are emerald, -2 points. So you really want to try to only grab whatever you're working on over here. There are some pink gems. These are considered to be imperfections. What you're going to do is you can place them on your board. They kind of more or less count as a wild. So, for instance, if we couldn't put this blue one, we could go 3 blues and a pink, and that would be considered to be fulfilled, and you'd get the points based off that size. However, you would lose 2 points because there's imperfection. So it's kind of important to get those every once in a while, but also they can cause you to lose some points. After everybody has spent all their dice, what's going to happen is all the dice are going to clear off the side. The chickens are going to go back to the coop. This guy's going to go into an advanced one. The gems are going to stay out in the middle. We're going to roll some more dice for the outside, and we're going to do it all over again. So the game ends when either 3 rounds have been completed, or one person has completely filled up their entire egg. At that point, you're going to go to your chart. You're going to refer to that chart. You're going to get points awarded based off of all the completed things. You're going to get negative points based off the gems that you could not place. And actually, for all these imperfections, if you have any imperfections that you have kind of outside that you could not place, you actually get a +1 for those. At the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins. Now, there's also kind of a mini expansion or a variant. It's these Power Cluck cards. Basically, what these do is at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of each round, what you're going to do is you're going to deal out as many cards as there are players. You're going to kind of draft them in reverse pecking order. And so maybe I want this nimble chicken card, and then let's say Bethany is going to she's going to get the hungry hen. It's going to give us some special abilities throughout the round. For instance, this nimble chicken one says you can move in an L shape when using either a 2 or a 3 movement dice. You usually have to move in a straight line. This one allows you to kind of turn corners, which can be really nice. The hungry hen says after using a movement die to move, you can eat 1 gem from an adjacent space, which can be really cool there as well. Every round you'll get new cards. Everyone gets their own kind of special powers for that round. And just kind of adds some new variety and variability to the game.
Okay, so this actually has nothing to do with the gameplay, but I really like this dude. He reminds me of Oaken from Frozen,
Yoo-hoo!
Yes!
Family! Hello, family!
He's just, so friendly, but, not a pushover. A friendly non-pushover. I want to see him at a party. I want to be at a party with him. He just looks like he'd be really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you. Okay. That's the beard that I aspire to have, so one day we'll get there. Anyways, this game actually surprised me. I kind of judged the book by its cover, and I thought this is going to be kind of peculiar, and it is peculiar thematically, but gameplay-wise, it's actually really, really fun. There's more here than meets the eye. There's some kind of subtle strategies and additional things you can do to kind of really make your, the game, maximize the strategy in it. And, man, I thought this was actually really fun. It surprised me.
Yeah, I thought that the scratching action was a lot more useful than we originally thought in our first go around. We didn't realize how important it was.
Like, why would I ever, put more gems out there? It's,
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to go scoop up the work that I put out there.
But then what you do is you just scratch every time somebody else moves, making them pick up diamonds that they can't use, and then it's negative, Ryan!
I enjoyed that quite a bit.
But definitely scratch in this game a lot.
There's the Cluck Power cards. It shows as a variant in the game. I really think that unless you're playing with, a younger audience, or, brand new gamers or something, I would play with those every time. They add a nice element to where every round you have some new ability, some kind of strategy to go after. But also more than that, just differentiates you from everybody else. You might go after something that someone else doesn't or can't because of the cards they have, and vice versa. So the Cluck Power cards are actually really cool, and I would suggest using them all the time.
So I do have one complaint about this game, and that was so the board popped up a little. Normally that's fine. But these hens you see are so top heavy that we'd place them down and they just topple over. Boop, 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 boop. And I was showing Ryan, I placed it on the table, totally fine. I picked it up and I placed it on the board, bloop, every time.
We probably need to just put a heavy book on it or something for a while to flatten it out, but we aren't that driven.
Or they're just so full of gems that they just can't stand up.
Their digestive system is too busy, working on that Fabergé egg. I said it right that time.
Did you?
I think.
I don't even know how to say it. Every time I thought you were right.
Yeah, you guys, this was actually a really fun time. It was a nice family weight game with some extra kind of subtle things thrown in there that made it kind of a level up. The artwork is kind of silly and light, but the gameplay is actually really fun, and there's some depth there that's not immediately apparent. So I had a great time with Gem Hens.
So I really like games that when you're done, you have this nice product at the end, and I feel like this game did that with that egg. You had this nice pretty egg that you had, created at the end. So I liked that, and I enjoyed playing this with our family. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. You can find us on Facebook. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. You can find us on Instagram. We are Ryan and Bethany. And lastly, we are also on Twitter under Ryan and Bethany 1.
Everybody, thanks so much for watching this incredibly peculiar review that we've put out there for you. I'll see you next time.
Bye.